You know it. Oh, okay. We're getting choked up here. Wow, right off the gate.
I get so excited when
You do?
we're doing healthy dose.
Okay, go on. Should we roll the music? Roll the music.
Healthy dose with my son and my God. It's healthy dose.
And today, we are going to be talking about... Tell them.
Optimist, pessimist, or realist. Wow. I pronunciated those.
You're right. So, I guess we should probably say a definition of what each is. So, if it's not already, if it's not already,
I mean, we know.
if you don't know,
we know we have all Harvard graduates.
I graduated from Princeton.
Yale.
Okay. You're right.
So we know you all know the definitions, but we're just going to reiterate.
Refresher.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So pretty much, let's see. I'm getting this from the Kentucky Counseling Center.
Wow.
So take that as you will. We're not from Kentucky, but we support other states here. Yeah. So, okay. So an optimist tends to wake up on the good side of bed. Is there a bad side of bed?
Oh my goodness, because I don't want to wake up on this.
I thought all
I don't want to make a mistake and roll over on that side.
It's your bed. It's never bad.
Wow, I mean, your bed is supposed to be your tranquil spot.
Yeah, wow. They apparently not in Kentucky. Okay, so what optimist tends to wake up on the good side of the bed. You always have that feeling that today is a good day, and it will only get better. Wow, I wish I could say the same.
Yes, that's me every day of my life.
You must have a really good bed.
Oh, it is. Wow, it is a good bed
with no bad sides.
Yeah,
we love that. An optimist focuses so much on the good side of things. You tend to blame other people. Oh, interesting. You tend to blame other people when things don't go pleasantly as you expected. That's not very optimistic of you, but whatever.
I'm like, Kentucky? I don't know if you know what you're talking about. Kentucky Counseling Center.
Y'all are crazy. When you are blocked by failure, you find ways to get out as soon as possible. Being happy and seeing the positive side of things are good. But like everything else, too much of anything can be harmful too. Wow. Dun.
The doom.
What is interesting to me is you tend to blame other people when things don't go as you expect.
I guess I never looked at it like that, but I guess maybe
I am an optimist.
I mean, maybe I don't know.
Because it's like,
I guess some people do that.
Yeah.
They say like, as long as it's off of them, so they can be even more positive. Yes. They're like, oh, this isn't going well because it's her fault. She did this.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm still gonna have a good day.
No, that's so true.
I never thought of that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wow.
Kentucky knows what they're talking about.
Kentucky Counseling Center. Is that who we were? Yeah. Is that who did it? Kentucky Counseling.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So a pessimist, the opposite of an optimist. Pessimists are always known for their negative outlook on life, which
negative Nancy.
We know people like that. Science has shown that pessimists are also results oriented, but expect more negative results. There's a concept called defensive pessimism, where a pessimist allows a negative mindset to reach one's goals.
What? That's deep.
Surprisingly, this kind of mindset provides unexpected outcomes and results. Oh my God.
That's deeply horrible.
Let me read that again. So, there is a concept called defensive pessimism, where a pessimist allows a negative mindset to reach one's goals. We know people like that.
That's crazy.
It's almost like, we've talked about this so much, but it's almost like the worse your life is, or like the more like trials and tribulation, like the worse things are, the happier it makes you as a pessimist.
It's people that, like, I guess,
because you already predicted that.
Yeah, but it's crazy because, like, I guess you didn't think of it in the way they said it.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like when you say, oh, she likes drama.
Yeah.
Like some people
yeah.
feed off of it. Like they live for that. Or or you have those that's like, "Ugh, I'm going through this, but I know it's horrible, but I'm gonna get out of it." Like they use that as a way for people to also feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Like I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. They're so negative and giving all of the negative that's happening to them to actually get sympathy.
I wonder if like pessimists are also like people that think that they're the victim. I wonder if there's a correlation.
Yes, definitely.
Because like with a negative mindset like that, you almost have to see yourself as a victim.
Yeah.
Because you're not like, oh, I'm like thriving. I'm doing, it's almost like, no, everything is everything is trying to bring me down.
Yeah.
Like the world is against me.
The world is against, and then but I think also with the pessimist, they acknowledge it. Like, and I think that's also what brings it into fruition.
They like feed into it.
Yes, and then it makes it, but then, like you said, they like to be able to, the way they say optimists blame somebody, like pessimists blame somebody too. So then therefore they can be like the victim. Like, this happened to me and it's not fair. Like, I shouldn't have to deal with this. But a lot of times they are sometimes doing things to cause
They
that
are
negativity.
the problem.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's crazy. But I think also with the pessimist, it's like, because you become so, just like with anything, you become used to that cycle.
Yeah.
So you're doing things to hinder yourself, but it's like at least something's going on for you.
Yeah.
Even though it's bad. Like, even though it's bad, you know how they say good publicity is better than no publicity? It's almost like a bad feeling for them, or negativity for them is better than...
Fuels them.
Yeah. It's better than nothing.
No, I love that. Well, obviously I don't love pessimists, but like the term defensive pessimism.
Yeah.
Where the negative mindset is like their goal.
What drives them. But I'm telling you, the best, I guess, cliche that people used to use, but you didn't think of it in that sense, was, oh, she loves drama. Oh, drama like just makes her thrive. Drama motivates her or him. I mean, some guys like drama too. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, some people like drama.
Dang. Okay. Go off, Kentucky. Okay, so then the last one, a realist. You view life as real as it gets. You see things as they are. A realist accepts that good and evil exist and is uninfluenced by optimistic and pessimistic views. A realist doesn't care about the equation of good and bad. They feel it is better to let go of the calculations and just have a good time. However, maintaining a balanced act between bad and good can be stressful for a realist. Dang.
Because I feel like I, at times, should, I guess, hold...
Which one of the three do you think you are?
I know I'm an optimist, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes I need to grab hold of the realism sometimes.
Right.
And my partner, I know I'm always talking about my partner.
It's because he's amazing.
He's amazing. But no, I feel like... yeah. Okay.
Go off.
He's the best thing in the world. But no, I feel like I'm an optimist. He's an optimist too. But he's such a realist too. He's like...
Well, maybe he is a realist because...
he's like, these are the facts. He's like, babe, these the facts. This is it. Like, this is... He's all with the facts.
Yeah.
Like, he's with what is real and what's
like
there.
what's physically going on.
Yes. And I'm like, well, it's going to be good. It's gonna... He's like,
yeah.
Okay, babe, that's nice and all, but this is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like... You right. You right. I'm like, you definitely are right. But I mean, it's like amazing to like have someone that is, or be like encounter someone that's a realist. Because I mean, sometimes being an optimist, you get blinded by
the reality of it all. Yeah.
Because you want to be all positive and all happy and it's like, snap out of it. You know, you just like, hey, snap out of it.
Like the fact that somebody's, best friend died, it's not all positive, No. There is no bright side to that.
No. It's like, whoa, okay, these are the facts. They passed away. Help them.
Yes.
Empathize with them. Help console them.
Their car just caught on fire. There's nothing. Well, at least you weren't in the car. It's like, no, their car
now
caught on fire.
Yes, now they have to work on getting another car. And it's like,
but honestly, like, At least they weren't in the car.
It is, I mean, I'm saying, at least you're alive and you're able to listen to Healthy Dose podcast.
Oh my God, you're right.
Saying, that's a good thing, though. And I do think.
I love that.
But I think with being an optimist, like, you can see the positive, and that's good and all. But I think it's good to kind of venture into the realist part sometimes.
But listen, okay, here's my grievances with that. And I'm going to try to, I guess, for example, the news. There's a lot of people that choose to watch the news, read the news, whatever. I am not one of them. Do you feel like you watch or read the news? You keep up with the news?
I used to be a avid CNN watcher.
Oh, okay.
When I would get, like, when I was a pharmacy manager, I would work, of course, get up in the morning, and I would turn on CNN while I'm ironing my clothes and watch it. Because I felt like I needed to know what was going on with the world.
So maybe at that moment you were being a realist.
I was being, yeah, I guess you would say, but I would turn it. Like, I'm like, the world, it can still be okay today.
Yeah.
Today can still be a good day, you know.
But it never is.
I am, you
But
know.
it never is on the news.
I don't know. The news is just sad. But I literally stopped watching the news because it will make you sad.
It's depressing.
Yes, it will make you sad. This person shot this person.
Yes.
This is going on. The airplane ran into the air. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like,
No,
I
literally.
can't deal with all the negative like this early in the morning.
No.
I was like, I want to wake up and be like,
No, literally.
Like, I need to be that person. Like, so I literally stopped watching the news. Now, if I do see or hear anything, it's like little CNN notifications, like, or whatever, or I'm on Instagram or Facebook.
But you're not like seeking it out.
Yeah, I'm not like looking.
You just
for
come across it.
Yeah, because I feel like I know things that I do need to know. However, I still feel like sometimes, unless you're trying to come and just kill all of us, like, I need to know that. But like other things, there's nothing I can do about it.
Literally.
Like hearing about the bad news and this person, like, I literally cannot do anything about that. Like, everything that I need to know about staying safe, I know I need to be cautious. I know
stranger danger.
Stranger danger. I know I don't need to just be up at the bank, like, just with all my doors unlocked and at the ATM. Oh, my pen is like,
hey everyone,
I'm getting out $5,000. Like, I know I don't need to do that. The news does not need to tell me that. Like, I know that there are people on, like, the internet trying to get your card information.
Right.
So I use prepaid cards when I'm purchasing from Amazon. Like, I know. I know to use green dot cards when I'm purchasing off of Amazon. I'm not about to put my
I
card.
have a burner phone.
I know the government's trying to listen. I know what to do.
Oh, careful, they're listening right now.
That's true. Government? What is that?
I've never heard of that word.
What? My taxes? The government? I give those to who?
I pay taxes twice.
I don't pay the government. I pay to Uncle Sam.
Oh my
Who's
God.
the government?
No, that's so funny.
But I'm just saying, like, but no, so I realize I don't have to see that or listen to that negativity to, like, know what, because people are like, well, you need to know what's going on. And I'm like,
that part.
What's going on with the United States, like, I can't do anything about it. Now, voting, that's the only thing I can control.
Did you vote on Tuesday?
I'm not registered for Missouri.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
I voted for the both of us.
Thank you. I'm not registered yet for Missouri.
Yeah, you're right.
So I have to get that done. But
no, the reason why I brought up the whole, like, news thing is because I feel like that can show you whether someone is an optimist, a realist, or a pessimist. If you ask someone, do you watch the news, and they say no, they're most likely an optimist. Because they don't want to watch the negativity that is the news. Because, like you said, you literally cannot do anything about it. I know, okay, I know that there's a lot of things happening overseas that are, like, wrong, and people are dying, and there's a lot of, like, just not good things.
Yes.
Me, as a person who lives in Missouri, a 28-year-old female who lives in Missouri, like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
unless we are X-Men and we have powers. I mean, there's not much that we can do.
I was not prepared for that. But you're right. We are not X-Men.
X-Men. I mean, but I'm like,
We are X-Women.
Women in steel.
We are women in STEM.
I mean, like, there's nothing that we literally can do.
Literally nothing.
I mean, literally.
Except for
Donate to the kids in Africa. That came right out the dome. Like, we can't do.
I need to start saying dome.
We can't do that. That's, I mean.
I usually say noggin.
I don't say noggin.
I don't know why.
You say dumb, I say noggin.
Yeah, you're right.
I say noggin, you say no.
Whoa! No, it was singing time. Sorry.
Wow.
So, pretty much, you cannot control the news. Well,
No.
obviously you can't control the news, but you can't, like, do anything that the news is telling you. Like, so, let's say somebody got shot in Kansas. I mean, that happens all the time. Somebody got shot in Kansas City. What am I supposed to do? Besides feel that negativity as I'm listening to the news.
Or donate to the hospital. I mean,
Like-
and the insurance companies are getting all of that. I mean, there's nothing that, I mean, and so, but what I have started doing, me and my partner, we watch, like, we don't watch the news, but we watch some morning shows.
Okay.
Like Good Morning America, that's showing you, like, different little hacks or, like.
And they're more positive, those
Yes,
ones.
Yes, like, they're
Yeah.
so positive. And
It's
so,
like feel good.
yeah, and it's just like, oh wow, like little gadgets. Like it's a segment that shows you like the new gadgets for
Yeah.
the summer or things like that. I mean, stuff like that. We've started like, well, I think he's always done it, but like I've started watching it with him.
But
and it's like
things
it's so
that you can
fun.
actually use in your life.
Yes, and it's so positive. Like we might still. I mean, I think during some of those segments, it'll do a clip for like the local news, but
Yeah.
they'll show what the weather's gonna be.
Right.
And it's stuff like that. But I mean, like,
Right.
we watch that and it's just, I mean, it's cool, like, uplifting stuff.
Yes.
Like, it's nothing like, this person got shot or this and
The
that.
double homicide down the street from you this morning. It's like,
Yes,
whoa!
it's like, whoa. Like, could y'all, like, ease me into this? I just woke up. Like, my heart is in shock now. But no, it's like stuff like, they were doing, I think, one of the teams, I don't know, it might have been the Chiefs, they were doing for the autism.
Oh,
Or they
okay,
were,
yeah.
you know, doing for Autism Month or something like that. And it was just like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's just like little things like that.
Something that you can actually control.
Yes, like, I'm like, that's cool. I can donate to that. I could, like, they put the
Right.
thing, hey, donate to the, you know, and I'm like, that is really, really cool. Like, I like
Yeah.
that. But the news, like, I was doing that when I was, like, in college. I would
Okay.
do like that's like when I started. Like I need to know what the news. And so I literally did that up until I want to say because I was still working in pharmacy, probably.
And doesn't it, at the
8 or
pharmacy,
so
they
years
have
ago.
like the TVs?
Yeah, and like stuff up there too. And like
Yeah.
I had to just like not focus on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because of course like you can't hear it, you know, because they have the music playing or whatever.
Right.
But I mean, still, you know, you'll go look up and you'll read or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like I had to like, no, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because it was just so negative, and you'll get paranoid.
There's too
You
much
get
that happens
paranoid,
when you
too.
watch the news.
Yes.
It's not the vibe.
Because I'm just like, oh, okay, so they just said a pharmacy got shot up.
I literally work at a pharmacy. You know, it's like,
Are they coming in here to try to get all of the
Literally.
Adderall? Like, you know, I'm like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do?
Literally.
You know? And so I mean, it really will turn you into like a paranoid person, like literally.
yeah.
So, and I mean, now I realize why some people like become conspiracy theorists and stuff. And,
Because
like,
they get so, like, they
you get, like,
literally go
sucked in.
down that rabbit hole
Yeah.
and they can't get back out.
You get sucked in. Now, some of the stuff I'm
That's
like,
wild.
that's interesting, or like kind of interesting to just research.
Like,
a little
okay,
bit.
I don't think the earth is flat, but let's talk about it.
Yeah, like I'll go to some YouTube videos and
That's
you know
dangerous.
yeah, they can be. And then there's
Yeah, I can't get behind watching the news. I feel like it's way too toxic, it's too negative, and that's where I'm like, that's where I know that I am an optimist, because I just don't, out of sight, out of mind. Now, whether that's a good decision, I don't know, but it's something that I'm choosing.
yeah.
You know? And I feel like that's what helps me,
yeah,
go about my day.
Yeah.
Because so many times, like, that information carries with you for the rest of the day.
And you even, because I hear people, they'll say, oh, and I'll talk about this is what, 4 in the afternoon, in the evening. Oh, did you hear about that happened? And I'm like, oh.
You're like, what?
When did you hear about that? Because you've been at work all day.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, this morning when I was watching the news, it's like, oh my goodness. Like,
literally.
You brought that all with you just so you could tell me.
Yes.
Like, at 4 something in the evening.
Like, tell me something positive.
Yeah. Like, ugh.
I don't know. So anyways, if you watch the news, there's a good chance that you're either a realist and or a pessimist. Passe.
Optimist. Yeah, that sounds close to another word. Never mind.
I'm not mad at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. A pessimist and a realist. So I guess they're doing like
comparisons.
Oh wait, there's so many different things I can talk about. Let's just go for it. Okay, so a pessimist and a realist. A pessimist views the world in a darkness and hopelessness. You feel like you're running out of luck all the time and things don't work out for you. You always complain if problems arise. You don't care about finding a solution to your problem. Wow. A realist is someone who understands and believes that life can go smoothly and all of a sudden can take a detour. Okay, I'm not mad at that. You allow yourself room to attract opportunities. If you are a realist, you have a fair judgment on things. You don't use positive or negative filters. Oh, I love that. To make your decision.
So you're like, so a realist is like in the middle. Like, the crazy thing is like no one ever talks about a realist.
Yeah.
People only talk about optimist and pessimist.
Yeah.
They never talk about like realist.
I think because it is so hard to be a true realist.
Yeah.
For you to really just be in the middle and accept that, yeah, there's good things, but yeah, there's also bad things.
And I think you have to be, because I will say, like, my partner is kind of like a serious person. Of course, he knows how to have fun and all that kind of stuff.
Right, but I
he's
get
like
what
a
you're saying.
serious person. Like, he is like just like for real. Like, he's just a real person. He's like, okay, that's not going to work for that.
Right.
Or this is going to work for that. It's more like just being...
Like a level-headed?
Just level-headed and just looking at the facts.
And not too charismatic. I think a lot of times people who are charismatic lean to optimist.
I'm positive because...
Literally.
That's so me.
Not that he's not charismatic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I think it's good to... I think it's really good. Of course I don't think it's good to have a pessimistic person at all. But I think it's good to have like optimist or a realist that's on your side or both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Friendship, whatever. Like it's good to have like that person in your corner that can be optimistic, because the crazy thing is like even being like a full optimist, you still have your times of realism.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have our times where we're like, oh, this could be good, and then we're like, oh, no. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, not saying we're always realists, but we still have our moments of being realistic. It's like, okay, let's be real about this.
Because if you weren't, you'd be a psychopath.
Yes, it's like, okay, now you're just being unrealistic. Like, you're just being imaginary.
Right.
You're in imaginary land.
Literally.
Like, at this point. Because everything cannot be great all the time.
Right.
We can want it to.
You're going to have problems.
You're going to have some hiccups. You know?
Oh, a little bit.
You're going to... that was good. Bentley get hiccups sometimes. Because he drinks too fast.
I love him. So, a realist is an objective person. Mm-hmm. Sometimes having an unbiased perspective may not always be possible and productive. People associate pessimism with realism by not considering the good things as seeing the wrong things as unavoidable. Mm-hmm. Pessimists often think that negative outcomes, and by doing this, pessimists often think of negative outcomes, and by doing this, they feel that they are also realists. Oh, okay, so a pessimist could be like, just thinking negatively. So let's say like you're going to, I don't know, a sporting game, and you're like, oh, well, there's going to be drunk people there that are going to be, like belligerent and loud and blah. And yes, there are going to be drunk people that are that because you're literally at a sporting game, and they're like, see, I was right. I'm a realist.
But it's kind of like speaking the negative
Yeah.
into existence.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a realist is like I was saying, just about facts.
Right.
So if it is what it is when they get there and they see it, then they're like, okay, they're drunk. This is not going to work. Let's move.
Right.
But like a pessimist is setting it up for the negative.
Right.
They're like, oh, this is already going to be this. They're like manifesting the negative.
Literally.
And when I say like,
and as an optimist, you're like, no, like chill. Like you try to soften them.
Yeah, you want to like
you're like, no, it's gonna be so much fun. Like we're gonna have so much fun together. And
when I tell you like that can being an
I feel
optimist,
like they clash,
and it can drain you sometimes. Like from dealing with a person that is a pessimist and that's just negative and negative, especially when you like trying to put that good energy out there and they're trumping everything that you say. You're like, oh my goodness, like I'm just trying to be. Now if they were to be a realist, and they were just stating the facts, okay. But when they're coming with the negative and the negative has not even happened, it's like, wow, you know what? Let me move around you.
It's like, why? For what?
But I'm telling you, it's the drama of it all.
Like do they like being miserable?
When you know, like that's all you know, you don't even realize that that's what you're doing.
That's wild to me.
You're actually being that way, but you think like they were saying, you kind of sometimes use that as their goal, like to accomplish things.
Right. That's so crazy to me. Just because I cannot relate. Yeah. Cannot relate to that. Okay, so an optimist, a pessimist, glass half full and glass half empty. We've all heard that. So an optimist loves opportunities from which they can gain something good from. You don't see failure as a bad thing. Instead, you look at failure and success as two complementary concepts that have to go together to achieve a good life. Wow. Now that's a true optimist. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, well.
I'm like, what is this about to go to? About to go to.
That part. You're always on cloud nine. Oh, maybe we're not fully optimists.
Okay. I feel like we are still true optimists because we're still human.
True.
So no human in there. Like no human in the world cannot have that emotion of not always happy.
Right.
I mean, like that's like when you stub your toe, your initial.
You're not gonna be like, oh, I love this.
No, you're like, oh, my toe, but no. Oh, that hurts so bad. This is not good. But I could put some ice on it.
You're such an optimist.
Oh my God.
No, see, but then I'd be like, well, at least it's not broken.
Yes. See that. But it's like at the beginning.
At least I'm not pregnant.
You could have stepped your toe and got pregnant.
I said what I said.
Ooh, that's a tricky thing there.
So you're always on cloud nine and you see the grass is always greener wherever you are. That is so true. Because we're both like, we're amazing.
Yes. Like, we can go to, oh my goodness, when we went to the wedding expo.
Oh, that was
that was in India.
We went.
Wait, what? I wasn't going to tell what the wedding expo was just in case somebody knew it.
You're right. So the wedding expo in India, is just a very, that environment that we were in was very much just like a chill environment. Mm-hmm. But when I tell you.
We came in there.
We turned it into
with a positive vengeance.
Yes.
I mean, it was beautiful. Like, people literally were like, you all are like on it. Like, you all are we're coming to you all's booth.
Yes.
Like, they were ready.
Yes.
And we didn't even have
we didn't even have food or anything. We were just there.
Guys, these people brought their living rooms. Their living rooms were literally their booths. Yeah. I thought they had chandeliers and everything. We had a few things.
Table set up, plated, candles, flowers.
I mean, a whole spread.
It was just us.
We came in there with our personalities. We came in there with the positive. And literally, I'm talking about, it just changed the whole atmosphere. It changed our experience. Because we were like, we're just going to have a good time.
And that's what I think is the most important part is your experience. If you want your experience to be negative, by all means, you can make it negative.
Yes,
That's so easy.
Yes.
If you want your experience to be positive,
you can.
that actually takes work.
It do. And see, but that's the thing.
If you think about
It
it.
don't really take work for things to be negative.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why it's easy for people.
Because there's a lot of negative in this life.
Yeah, it's
there's
like
a lot of...
you literally, if you don't like pick up a cup and drink, you're thirsty. That takes work. And if you don't do that, you're like, oh, I'm so thirsty. Oh, this is horrible because I'm thirsty.
Go get a drink.
All you have to do is pick up the cup and actually drink it.
Literally.
And so literally,
That's
like,
genius.
not working, like, negative does not take work. Positive do take work, and people are lazy and do not want to be positive. They don't want to, like, have to turn those thoughts into the... Wow, we're preaching here on Healthy Dose.
I love that. You're so true.
Real. Like, I mean, well, you said it. You said it. I mean, literally, like...
Roll the tape.
Yeah, she said... I mean, like, being positive, being an optimist takes work.
It takes
really
so...
does.
Especially because there aren't very many optimistic people.
Yes.
And so you having to... And we talk about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But going into a room of people... I wish there was a statistic. Maybe there is. But I think maybe the amount of pessimists or realists in that room is a lot more than those that are optimistic.
Yes.
So for you to go into a room as an optimist and have to like literally lift
You can
up
feel the heaviness.
people. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard. It's really, because it's so easy for you to just kind of go into the...
And be with them.
Yeah, go
like,
into the negative of it all.
And just be
That's
like...
wild.
Because sometimes I go in the room and the person's like, hey, and I'm like, oh, wow. So what if I was like, hey, then we all in there, hey...
No, fully.
Hey, and then we're gonna be, hi,
So you'll be voguing, actually.
well, we could be like, hey,
Yeah,
hey.
yeah.
And we could be like, we could be voguing positively.
That's so true. We need to start voguing more. That's all I'm getting on. Oh, Lord.
That takes work, that voguing. Not being positive, but voguing takes
Gosh.
work.
Oh, wait, this is interesting. So going back to an optimist seeing the glass half full, it says, and this was, you could tell, written back in 2020. It says, they are very hopeful that there are solutions to all human problems. They are positive that COVID will be soon controlled and everything will be back to normal. Optimists are least likely to experience pandemic-related anxiety.
Wow.
Were you ever anxious during the pandemic?
I wasn't.
I
was
wasn't
at the
either.
time of my life.
But I know people who literally, to this day, will still wear a mask. Because they're like, no, I could die. Which, I'm not making fun of people who have died or the disease or whatever it is. But like with the news, there are certain things that you literally, like, they're not in your control.
You can't, exactly. I mean, even, because people were wearing masks and still.
Double masks,
out of
face
here.
shields, like
Yes.
hazmat suits.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean,
like...
astronaut suits, like, I mean,
Come on.
astronaut costumes.
No, literally.
Like, surgeon
Literally.
costumes. I mean, that they should have been wearing for Halloween. They were putting those on.
Could you imagine? Somebody just wearing a doctor's. I'm mad at that.
what are you doing? You're not a surgeon.
So what are the effects of optimism? See, now I'm a little bit nervous because I'm like, this applies to
There's
us.
no effects.
We're amazing. So here it is. Oh, I'm nervous.
There are effects, though. I'm thinking of them, like, because, like I said, you have to have some sense of realism, but...
Yeah, no.
You're right.
We live with rose-colored glasses on.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Optimists are very confident individuals.
What?
You nailed it. I love that. They push through even when the going gets tough.
And the tough gets going.
Kentucky. We want the tough to get going. Good Lord.
Yeah.
They tend to see that despite all the hurdles, they can make it through.
We're
But
track
optimism...
stars.
He's a runner, he's a track star. He gonna run away when it gets hard. That song's about optimism. Oh, I said for about 10 seconds. I don't know if you got that. Oh, but optimists can hurt themselves if they continuously fail in attempting the possible negative outcomes of the future.
We won't.
Or anticipating.
We won't fail.
Okay, so you will fail if you anticipate the negative outcomes of the future.
That's a psychic.
I don't know about that. You should not be trapped by irrational optimism. See, but I don't think I'm irrationally.
See, that's what we were talking about. Like,
optimistic.
we're not irrational to the sense of like, it's no logic behind it. Like, we're not like, oh my goodness, that cup is gonna come here and
I can make it come
Yes,
here.
like, we're not silly.
No.
Like, we know we're not X-Men. See,
No,
y'all
we're
were wondering
X-women.
what X-Men were coming into play. There it is. I knew this moment was coming because
Cyclical.
I'm a psychic.
What am I thinking about?
Whoa.
It's
Healthy
heavy.
dose.
It was heavy. Being optimistic and confident is not at all bad. Okay, great.
Thank you.
We know.
Thank you for talking.
However, too much positivity and confidence can cause you to pursue inexcusable risks and encounter undesirable situations. How?
So I think the way that the way that can happen is if you're like, okay, they say the qualifications for this job is you have to you have to have a certain whatever you have
Degree
to have
or something.
Yeah, or say you've been doing this for
You have 2 years of experience.
Yes, to be a nurse practitioner, you have to be a registered nurse.
Okay, yeah.
And you go in and say, "Hey, I'm going to go out to be a nurse practitioner." You didn't even go like to nursing school.
Right.
You're not like a CNA. You're not an RN or anything.
You're nothing.
You're nothing.
You're optimistic.
You're optimistic, and that will not take you. You will not.
But
that will not
hear
make
me out.
you.
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, obviously not in the medical field, but sometimes, if you, literally me getting my job.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to have the qualifications, and because you are optimistic, they're like, that's more valuable.
But see, that's because like. But that also goes with. But see, I also don't think that that's a. I think you're optimistic, but you're still that's realistic. Like I mean, that's rational because you know, okay, though I do have all of these, I have the personality.
It doesn't guarantee.
I have this. I have this.
Okay.
They can like surpass what you
True. But also not me being like, well, I will 100% have this job. It's like, I mean, I have all these qualities, but it's not guaranteed that I'll get the job.
But you were confident. Like your optimist, like mystic, like standpoint made you confident too.
Right.
And like, okay, I do know I have this. I do, but I feel like now, like I said, certain stuff is irrational.
Right.
Like a nurse practitioner, you cannot.
You literally, yeah.
Like that's not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a nurse practitioner, and I'm not even a registered nurse. I haven't even
haven't even gone to school.
You're a psycho.
Yeah.
Come on now, like you're not thinking.
It's
but
not
no,
gonna happen.
like in your sense though, I still think that was rational, not irrational, because you're still like, but I am amazing.
I'm amazing.
I'm amazing, and therefore you got it.
You're not
and
wrong.
You are.
You're not wrong. Go off. I think you would do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's another thing about optimists. You're often in a positive mood, thinking that nothing wrong will happen to you and your family, talking about COVID. The COVID virus is everywhere. You are too optimistic that you won't catch it. You don't follow basic health protocols. Okay, you don't follow basic health protocols, I feel like is just being ignorant.
Yeah, now if you're out here like,
no, literally,
and then
spit my eye.
somebody says, I have COVID, you're like, oh, well, that's okay, I won't catch it, and you go and like kiss them all over their face.
Right.
Irrational. I think all of that kind of stuff, that's for real. That's being irrational.
But it might, I mean, I don't think there's many people that are an ignorant optimist.
Yeah, like
you have to have some sort of like reality.
Because I feel like that's not optimism. You're silly.
You're just being
you're silly.
Delulu.
Okay, yes, you're delusional and psycho at that point. Like you're not even just optimistic. You're just silly.
I mean, okay, so then they talk about, is pessimism helpful? Which I'm like, I don't think it is, but here we go. Defensive pessimism. Okay, wait, sorry. There's two types of pessimism, defensive and depressing. So defensive is when you expect negative situations can happen and be mentally ready to face these situations anytime. I think that's like when people are like, well, you always have to assume the worst. Which I feel like sometimes I do in certain situations, But at the same time, I may prepare myself for the worst, but I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, I think they're treading with with a realist.
Yeah.
They're treading really like close to the line of a realist, because I feel like a realist is like, okay, this is whatever it can prepare.
Right.
But the pessimist is just like they're looking for it, like almost wanting
They want it to happen.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
they can be like, see, I told you.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with preparing for what could.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like a realist too. Like a realist is like, these are the facts. This is what it is. So I know that we got to be prepared.
Yeah.
You know,
but also it could turn out great.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Okay, so you were doing something to prevent the negative event from happening. This is defensive pessimism. Despite your efforts to prevent it, you are still open to the possibility that the situation can worsen. This is your way of protecting yourself from disappointments.
Wow.
So you won't be you'll never be disappointed if you predicted that was going to happen.
Yes.
Because you're like, see, I knew it.
That's miserable.
That is so
to
miserable.
Always be like with the negative, just to prepare yourself for when the negative do come.
Yeah. That's
wow.
Yeah, that's sad. Defensive pessimism is the intense tendency to see and focus only on the negative, whatever the situation is. So then it leads us to depressing. Depressing is when pessimism is linked to mental health, such as stress, anxiety, depression. This can lead to suicide in adults. Between the two, defensive pessimism is considered the most appropriate in most situations. So I think that's depressive is you've got mental health, which that's okay. You can definitely get help for that. So can you be an optimist and a pessimist at the same time? No. That would be a realist.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a realist, but the only thing is the realist is just not...
Is always.
But they're not as detailed with each one.
Oh, I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So it's like I was saying, the pessimist, like the part about being prepared for the worst, like a realist is prepared for the worst. Like they know, but at the same time, they're not like just trying to say, they're not just saying it's gonna be horrible. Right. It's gonna be horrible. It's only if it's actually like the facts presented. Right. Then they're like, oh, okay, this is gonna be horrible. Let's go ahead and do this. A pessimist is like,
this is facts.
Yeah, they're like, I know it don't seem like it's gonna be horrible, but it's going to be horrible. But like the realist is like, no, the facts show that it will be horrible, so we need to be prepared. However, they're also not just, I guess, blissfully like, oh, everything is great.
Right,
you know,
they're not the optimists.
Yeah, so they're not like deep optimists, and they're not deep pessimists.
Yeah, they're very much kind
on
of
the
surface
level of both. Yeah.
Look at us. So Kentucky says pessimistic optimists are persons who have both optimistic and pessimistic views. They have negative thoughts and fears, but they balance this out with seeing the good and positive outcomes of the situation.
Why didn't they just say a realist? But I guess also because like we're saying it's not as deep for the realist. But
so do you prefer the realist approach? Some individuals have come to believe that the realism approach is the healthiest. Yeah, I would say so. Actually, no, I wouldn't say so.
You
should be an optimist. You should be an optimist. Because there's not enough optimists. Not everybody's going to be an optimist.
I mean, I feel like I said, we're optimists. But, I mean, we're rational.
Don't be a delusional optimist.
Yes. Like, I mean, we know to, like, still have something, like, set in place if it's not going to, be positive.
Right.
But at the same time, like, we're still more along the lines of, like, being positive and happy and, because, I mean, that helps the outcome in so many ways too. I mean, I've seen in so many circumstances where like situations are not going like they need to go.
Right.
And I'm talking about people are negative, they're this and that, and I'm being as positive as I can be.
Yeah.
It turns the whole. I mean, even in our job, we've seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, it turns the whole. And the
it's contagious.
They're like, you all said that this was going to be good, and this turned out good.
Yeah.
And of course, we didn't just sit back and say it's going to be good. We did the work.
And the thing is, sometimes like if you're an outsider looking in, you're like, ooh, that actually didn't go well. But it's like, because you have that positive mindset and because you kind of
what it could have what it could have been or what it started.
You change everyone's, I guess, perception around you to think positively, then you're like, well, that wasn't that bad. Like, that actually was really good.
It still helped lighten the load.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Look at us. We're just better than everyone.
We're better.
So, do you prefer the realism approach? Some individuals have come to believe that the realism approach is the healthiest. Optimism is an extreme inclination towards positivity, while pessimism is extremely inclined towards negativity. These two extremes should be balanced out so you can have a more realistic approach to life. Realists acknowledge concrete evidence, like you said, and are practical and logical. They can recount incidents in more detail and are free from emotions. Ooh. That's interesting.
Saying, like, and I'm not saying that my partner's free from emotion, but I'm saying like he's serious. He's able to like think clearly.
Kind of like disconnect yourself and like just say what it was.
To think clearly and to be like, okay, this. And I think though, if you are gonna be an amazing optimist, have you kind of like someone that can be a realist with you. Like have someone like in your corner, like they can be real. You know, just not they don't be a realist. Like, but get you an optimist that can be real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like real about just whatever.
I love that. So the last thing is find your happiness. Your personality trait does not measure happiness. Everyone deserves to be equally happy, except for like if you're a pessimist, you're probably not happy. I don't know.
You're not. I mean, you just. I want you to be happy.
You're not as happy as you could be if you were an optimist. Because you're seeing life as like this sad and depressive thing.
Hazy gray land.
You know what I mean? Anyways, happiness is best defined by you. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are or what your personality type is. What's important is you feel happy and content about yourself and your decisions. Optimists are positive people, so everyone wants to be an optimist. But that is not the case. If you base your happiness on being optimistic all the time, that is not genuine happiness. That is just a perceived and shallow happiness. I don't know that I agree with that.
That's a pessimist who wrote that.
Because like them saying that if you base your happiness on being optimistic, that it's not genuine.
You can't determine for me like when like my genuineness.
Yeah.
Like on being positive and happy. Like this has gotten me to 28. Wink, wink.
He turns 29.
I mean, this has gotten me to my age, and I mean, being a positive person like has helped me. Like be the person that I am. I mean, maybe I could be a little bit more, a realist in my mindset, but I think I'm just enough to like actually not be delusional and to know, okay, I got to, be rational about this. I'm able to still take myself outside of the optimistic, approach when I need to. Yeah. Especially depending on the situation. But it doesn't make me delusional to the point like I said, we're not like, oh my goodness, like it's raining and we're gonna say, oh, well that's okay. I'm not gonna get wet when I go outside. Literally. I'm happy. Like we're not that. We know it's raining.
But such a good example about rain. Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, like it's raining. Like perfect day to like, kind of chill, whatever. Yeah. Some people are like, oh my gosh, it's raining. Like this is the worst day of my life.
And they already go into this just horrible depression.
No, literally. Because, that is so interesting. Well, that's the end of pretty much the whole article. See ya. My takeaway from this, and maybe I should look up like some more stuff afterwards, but my takeaway is like, you won't be hurting anyone, yourself or other people, if you are an optimist. Like, I think if you're gonna maybe like have a default, make it be optimist, because if anything, it's better to be happy and positive than to be miserable and sad all the time.
Exactly. Because I mean, I don't know, the world just needs more happy people. It's so, I mean, when I say it's just so easy to be sad. I mean,
Too
it's
easy.
negative. It really, really is. I mean, we have enough people that are in poverty, that are homeless, that are this and that, you know, say are sad, are not happy. I mean, and they can't help it.
Yeah.
They're not in a good point in their lives, then that's understandable. But you got clothes on your back, you have food to eat,
Right.
you got a roof over your head. Why are you being negative?
Right.
Like why? Like why would you choose to be negative and you have all these good things that you could be without?
Right. And I think so many times, and I know this has happened to you because I've seen it, but so many times when you walk into a room and you bring in that optimistic, you know, mindset and behavior, people notice it immediately.
They do.
And they'll say things like, "Oh my gosh, you're such a breath of fresh air, or you're such a ray of sunshine, or you're such a positive person." And like, that doesn't hurt anyone.
No.
That'll never hurt anything. Versus in the same, you know, in the same sentence, like, if you walk into a room and are negative, that like dark cloud over, like you spot that instantly. And what does that do? It brings the vibes down.
It brings the vibes down. And then people complain. They be like, oh, they did it. Even though they're the same way, they're, you know, negative too. But it gives them something, you know, to be, but to say, oh, he's so happy. Say I'm happy.
There's nothing wrong with being happy.
No, say I'm happy. But don't say, because the negative makes people feel bad.
Yeah.
And not, you know what I'm saying? So why would you want to make people feel bad? I'd rather people be happy and then just like, oh, he's alive, than go home and they're feeling horrible for the rest of the day.
What's so crazy is some people love that. They love making others feel bad, which I cannot, like, I don't get it.
I just say, you know, form a Facebook group and you all go and meet up and enjoy being negative.
And talk smack. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because everyone needs a support group, you know?
Yes, be the pessimist support group.
We love that.
PSG.
So I guess, like, wherever you're listening, comment, are you a pessimist, a realist, or an optimist?
Yes, let us know.
Because we're optimistic.
We're optimist.
We're amazing.
Amazing. Y'all know.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. No, we're not on Facebook.
No.
Don't look at us on Facebook.
Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. The good things. Hey, if you keep on, we might be on Facebook.
We could see you there.
With your donations to Healthy Does, we could possibly.
Oh, your donations. We appreciate them.
We do.
Make someone's day this week, okay?
Yes.
We'll see you later.
Bye.